tuned in to www.oghuskyradio.com. Original Defenders of Hip Hop, live every Thursday night. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
I'm Bizer.
Go ahead and spell that, man.
B-I-Z-E-R.
B-I-Z-E-R. And how long have you had that name? Let's get into the history of that, man, because let's just get it right from the get-go, man.
All right. Actually, I went to King Junior High. This is back in like '88, and Beck from AOB came up to me and gave me that name, and that's when I got in AOB, All Out Bombing.
And what other crews are you in now, or have you been involved with?
When I came back to the scene, I came back with RTN, Rocking the Nation. Actually, Create, got me in the crew. And then now I'm from DP.
Well, let's get into when you came back. What happened? We're talking 80s, early 90s. What happened that you left, and where did you go?
If you don't mind, let me start from the beginning, and then I'll get to it.
Yeah.
Coming back. Well, when I was in King Junior High, we're doing the whole AOB thing, All Out Bombing.
Who are some of the members, the original members of AOB, for those that don't know?
It was Beck back in the day, Search, Bash, and believe it or not, Mir. He's actually the one that got it started and got it to the prestige where it went, because he had the graffiti background. So the way I got involved, I knew Beck because we used to skate. Believe it or not, we used to skateboard and do ramps and tricks and stuff, and we skated for a long time. So we were friends for a while. We both went to Bancroft Junior High, and then I went to King Junior High, and I saw him there, and that's when we started AOB. And what happened was, and this is funny because I'm actually responsible for a lot of the beef that got started back in the day. Kesem from DTW, we were in the lunch area, and he asked me what I thought about Down to Right, DTW. And then I told him flat out, I said, I think they're a bunch of toys, so put my foot in my mouth, right?
Yeah.
So then he told me, I just happen to be from DTW. So I felt like a stupid idiot.
Yeah. So, but let's just, so that people could know, is like, from this incident is how much it escalated and what it got to what it is. So keep going with the story.
Yeah. So what happened was, long story short, everybody found out that I called them a toy.
Yeah.
I called them toys. And I used to go to this church called St. Francis, and my sister and I were there, and I'm cutting through the chase right now. I'm just telling you the nuts and bolts. And then I see Miser coming up the Michael Terena there, and then he went up to me and goes, "Hey, Bizer, you know who I am, right?" And I go, "Yeah, man, we go to school together." And then he turns around, this little red Toyota, and he goes down. And then like 2 minutes later, I see like a posse, like 20 cabrones or 30 of them deep, coming up Michael Terena. So mind you, I'm with my sister.
Yeah.
She's about 3 years older than me. And long story short, they said that they were going to jump me, and she got in their face.
Yeah.
Like, you're not freaking going to jump my brother right now. You got to hit me too. You got to fight through me to get through my brother. So she grew a pair of balls and was defending me. So, but let me put this very clear, because a lot of people don't talk about this, man. That, to me, it's on like some bullying level.
Yeah.
Because not only are you humiliating me because you're talking crap to my sister, now I gotta I gotta take that embarrassment, plus going through the whole thing of my sister having to defend me.
Yeah.
So long story short, they socked me. They go, "I don't have to hit you to hit your brother," and they went around her, and then I got socked in the face. So quite frankly, I think I paid for that comment.
Yeah. Yeah. So. But then from that,
from that it escalated, because I have nothing to do with what happened after that.
Okay.
Like, I paid for that comment, I got socked, and that was that, But what happened is they started fighting, or they would find somebody slipping, or catch them slipping.
Yeah.
And then they would either jump them or, so it was that type of stuff. Then I really don't know how DTW and MWA got together.
Okay.
That part I ignored. I don't know how they got together, but they did get together. And then one day I was coming home from school, and I saw that there was a big fight. Like people were getting beat up and jumped, and it was a big, just a big deal going on.
Yeah.
So Heck comes up to me and says, "Hey man, let's come over here." And I told him, "You know what? I have nothing to do with you guys because I already had left AOB by then."
Okay.
And long story short, again,
Yeah. Because
a week later after that big incident, I get shanked. I was running the reservoir in Silver Lake. I had a blue Kings Junior High sweatpants and a white T-shirt, and I used to live on Normal Street, which was Crazy's hood. So up until now, like, I don't know who shanked me. A guy pulled out of the car, went for my gut. I covered myself. I got shanked here, and then he swung. I went back, and then he got me right on the arm like this. The knife came out this way. So I still don't know who shanked me. It was either DTW or a rival gang of crazies.
So growing up in that era and in that environment, then it was just like you got shipped off.
Oh, dude, I don't dodge bullets. I'm not that fast, but I had to. I mean, I remember a time where they just did a drive-by shooting.
Just to kind of put it in perspective, so people could realize, and what we're touching on is the beginnings of tag banging, for whatever Fox 11 wanted to call it, but what it was is there are kids from these areas, and you had to survive in that era. But what I'm trying to stress the most is, like, you have someone here that's telling you, like, I know where it started. Like, it started because dude came up to me, and you know what I mean? I made a sideways comment, and from that, it just fucking escalated.
Yeah.
So when people, I guess, like, especially younger kids, when you're inheriting beef and, like, oh, nobody knows where it started from, most of the time people do know where it started, but they really don't want to fucking admit that, you know what I mean? Or it was over, in most cases, not in this, but in most cases, it's over a girl. You know what I mean? And let's just put that in perspective when we're talking about art and graph and all that. Like, all that, nah, man, because that's not what it's, you know what I mean? And not to sound all preachy, but I just felt, I was intrigued when you told me the story, and I was like, what if people did know that? You know what I mean? And you asked the older homies, like, hey, is it true, dog? Like, you know what I mean? or even if you tell people now, like, is it true you guys were clicked up before? Like, you guys were chill? Like, you know what I mean? And if you look down in the history, you'll look into that. So it gets to the level where you get stabbed in both of your arms.
Yes.
So it was the decision to ship you off to New York, or?
Well, that's the thing. I just had to get out of Los Angeles because I didn't want to I didn't want to die.
Yeah.
And I was scared. You gotta understand.
How old are you talking? We're talking right now.
Man, I was about 16.
Okay.
When this happened, I was 16 years old. I just had turned 16.
Okay.
But one thing I want to say is I want to be transparent. I really want to be transparent because these emotions, they don't just leave.
Yeah.
So when you come back to it, they rise, and it's just stuff that happened, and I wanted to say something right now. Since I'm in the air, I want to take the opportunity because I made a really repugnant comment on Instagram.
Yeah.
I saw a bomb of Heck, and one of his peers was actually exalting him, and that was his boy. It was saying positive things about Heck. And I have nothing positive to say about him because that's the dude that socked me and I had beef with. So
yeah.
I made a repugnant comment about him and that he was a toy. And I even said, I'll take on any DTW guy by myself. And that's stupid because I'm 40 years old. I'm not embarrassed to say that. And I really don't want beef. No one wants beef. But you got to understand that I was bullied.
Yeah.
I was scared then and intimidated and humiliated. I'm not scared now.
Yeah.
And that's not a challenge. I'm just saying things will be different.
Yeah.
Now as an adult.
Definitely.
And really what I want to do is that's why I'm being transparent. I want to squash everything because I never got to squash it.
Yeah.
I had to run. Because I had been stabbed and I was afraid for my life.
It had escalated so much.
So
No, definitely, and especially this is what I would love for this platform to be. You know, what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like, and that's why we have you here, and we're talking, and people might be wondering what's all no, so that people could understand like where it's all coming from, how far it goes back, and
It goes back.
yeah,
This is 80s. But, it's one of those things that we really don't know what's going to happen to you when you grow up. I've been a decent, respectable artist.
that's what I was I wanted to get into too. Is that you left Graph? When
Yeah,
you,
I left Graph
when you left
completely.
Los Angeles. And what did you do, and what did you get into, or what were you?
I got into airbrushing because it was the closest thing to graffiti.
Okay.
So I became an airbrush artist, but I also went into fine art painting.
Okay.
So
what is fine art painting?
Okay, fine art painting is basically learning the academics of drawing and painting. So I learned how to do portraits, how to do landscapes, how to do still life, these are just different things that you can do. Excuse me. Another thing I got into was just doing murals,
Yeah.
So I painted with like Ernesto de la Loza and Hector Ponce, and I dedicated my life to doing this type of work.
So this is years and years have passed. Why did you come back to Graph, or what made you come back to it?
Thank you for that question. Let me say this. I was an airbrush artist at Universal Studios for 10 years. Okay, and I learned the art of caricatures.
Okay.
So I became really talented in that area.
Do you still do it now?
Yeah, man. As a matter of fact, real quick, if anybody wants an event to do caricatures for parties, birthdays, weddings, any adult event, these are really fun to do. You guys can hire me.
Go ahead and give them the contact.
The contact information is area code 213-925-3556. That's my phone number. And you can also find me at Adrian Navarrete in Facebook. And
Okay.
please, support.
So we're doing the caricatures, and that's coming back. So then, where's the transition at?
Okay,
Let's continue the story.
this is where it gets kind of, sad. My mom passed away 4 years ago, and it impacted me so hard that when I found out she was sick, that's when it triggered. It was the only thing I can tell in that I can say within me that was raw and original and pure was graffiti. Because graffiti comes from a place that you need no reference other than your brain, what you can fabricate and create. So I embraced it. I refuged myself, and in the 2.5 years that I went under, I left my friends. I told everybody I'm gonna mourn for my mom. That's what I did for 2.5 years. All I did was graffiti art. I didn't do paintings. I didn't do portraits. I didn't do none of the stuff that I did to make a living. I just did graffiti. And I told myself that if I was gonna do this again, that I was gonna throw myself, dive myself, and really become good and proficient at it.
So you hadn't even touched a spray can?
No, sir. As a matter of fact, even now, like, I've done stuff for you, work for you. I only been painting. It's been a year, but I haven't been painting for a year. I think if much, 8 months.
8 months.
And it's not like every day. It's like once a month I'll do a piece. Because it's expensive. I don't rock cans like I used to.
we gotta put you up on game. But with that, so then 7-8 months, was it hard to get back into it, and even with just the different paints now, or is it easier?
Yeah, it was funny because you have to learn about tips, and you have to learn about the New York softball tips or fats, whatever they call them. I don't even know the names. But what happened was I just got it. I just grabbed the can and I just started painting, and I made it work. I've been an airbrush artist for 23 years, so it helped that I had some spraying background, but it's not the same thing at all. Yeah. Like you don't control the can the way you control an airbrush. The airbrush, you have absolute control.
Yeah, because I could use a can, and I could, for the life of me, couldn't use the airbrush. And everybody, that's supposed to be the opposite.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a trip. But
it's not hard. It's just you gotta commit yourself. But it's gotten to the point where if somebody tells me how to use a technique with the spray can, I learned one thing in life is you gotta learn how to listen.
Yeah.
That's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You listen more than you talk. So you want to listen. And then Ink from RTN taught me a technique that, man, it's helped me so much. And it's just flowing, just throwing your hand, flowing it. And I think it's amazing to watch somebody and go, okay, like this, and then for them to go, yeah, you're doing it the right way.
Do you still practice the fine arts though?
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
I draw and paint every day now.
Yeah.
Every day. Yeah, I just, after my mom passed away, I haven't stopped drawing a day. There's not a day I don't have. I mean,
Yeah, books and books.
I draw and draw and draw, and I do it obsessively, consistently. I'm redundant. I just do it over and over and over and over.
With the comeback and being around us for the amount of time, which isn't too much that you've been around us,
yeah,
you're getting you're getting kind of known for the characters.
Wow, thank you.
And portraits. Is it easier to do the characters, or is it easier to do letters?
It's funny. Me pican las manos. Like, I really want to do letters, because it's what I've practiced in 2 years.
Yeah.
I didn't practice characters. I practiced letters, because that's how you got to get known, through your letters. So I haven't done much lettering, but characters are just fun.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I want to thank anybody that has given me, or everybody that has given me that support. It's not easy. It's not easy going out there and flexing, because these guys, man, these guys are doing it in a really extraordinary way. These guys, LA, New York, Europe. I mean, these guys are just, they're really great. So
go ahead and give them the Instagram so they can catch some of your work.
yes, it's Gabriel.Adrian.Navarrete. The way you spell my name is N as in Nancy, A-V as in Victor, A-R-R-E-T-E.
And then how about the Facebook?
Again, it's Adrian Navarrete. You can just look my name up. ADRIAN-NAVARRETE.
We're limited on time, but right now, tell the people out there what services you can offer them as an artist, because people will be, let's be honest, a lot of people will, I only do this, or I'm only just everything that you're able to do, so they know.
Thank you for the spot, man. I want to thank you first for allowing me to do this. I'm a well-rounded artist. I do portraits. I can get up to realistic quality, and I can paint them pretty big. I do landscapes. I do multimedia. I'm one of the few artists that can say that I can work in any media: acrylic, watercolor, oil, airbrush, and spray paint, pencil.
The pencil work is awesome.
Yes, my pen. Oh, thank you. I don't mean to say that, but anyway, pencil. I do caricatures for parties. I do airbrush T-shirts, canvas work. I also do cars. I airbrush on cars with automotive paints, House of Color and that type of stuff. So I'm very well-rounded, and I want to say something real quick, because I know my time is limited, but I've been unemployed for about 4, almost 5 months, and that's been really hard, because I have a family, and a lot of people don't know that you sometimes go through these frustrations of trying to make a living
as an artist.
And I'm not one to do it for the money. I do it for the love, but I need to get paid, because I don't have a work right now. So if anybody out there wants to support, I just want to say this: don't just support me, support art, support artists. We're out there. We want to make a living off of this. A lot of people, they say, I'd rather, instead of buying a painting, I'd rather eat. And it's true.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna go have some type of entertainment, or you want to give a gift to somebody, think about artists. They can do something custom made.
Not
for
even
you.
just that. I mean, we're talking about portraits.
Yeah.
We're talking about like pieces that'll last forever and ever. Like, you know.
Yeah,
and-
it's
and
pennies
cut-
on the dollar because you get
and
to keep
cut-
it forever,
yeah, and
right?
Custom. I mean, anything custom. We're looking at murals, canvas,
Yes.
even just cars. Like, well-rounded artists. Like I said, a lot of artists. Oh, I only do this. You know what I mean? This is an artist here that could do anything. You know what I mean?
I've done just about anything on any surface.
So,
I always say, I say a little line that's kind of funny. I said I can paint on anything that sits still long enough for me to paint.
on it. There you go. Adrian Navarrete,
Si, senor.
Bizer
Yes.
Aob Rtn Dp, 213-925-3556 for all your art needs, man. Thank you for coming through. Any shout outs before we cut out, man?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the DP crew. Thank you for, having me in the crew. I want to give a shout out to my family and my friends. Thank you for the support. And thank you for having me here, man. I appreciate the time.
Shout out DP Crew. For those that don't know, that's all the productions that y'all be seeing us rocking. Like, we got paint like that. Shout out to Janko. Y'all be swearing we got fucking own a factory of paint
Janko,
and
I
shit.
know, man.
But Janko does shit.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thank
OGSQ
you.
Radio, stay posted.